Hello, my name is Isaac and I'm a nursery buyer here at Rogers Gardens. Today I'm going to talk to you about my favorite type of plant, and that's succulents. Succulents are a great plant because they're very versatile. There's basically a succulent for every scenario in the garden, and they go really well with other types of plants too. There's a couple common myths about succulents. The main one I hear all the time is, oh, you never have to water them. That's not true. You need to water all your plants. It's one of the main things about plants is they require water. Succulents can require less water than other plants because they've been modified through evolution to store water in their leaves or in their stem. Another common myth about succulents is that they all need full sun. That's not true. A lot of succulents can do really well in partial shade. Actually, some prefer it. If they're in sun for too long, it can burn the leaves and actually kill the plant. Some of the varieties of succulents that do better in partial sun are the echeverias, like this beautiful Echeveria Afterglow. Also the Aeonium Zortkop, which is a real nice dark leaf. It can do both. It can be in lots of sun or partial shade. These are some of our favorite succulents here at Rogers for full sun. Agave Blue Glow is by far one of our best-selling succulents. It's very easy to grow. It's got a great color, architectural shape, and it contrasts well with another great plant is the Euphorbia Sticks on Fire, which will go to about 6 feet, usually 8 feet max in the garden. This contrasts well with Aeonium Zortkop. It's a nice dark purple leaf. And also again, the Aloe Cynthia Giddey flowers basically from spring until fall on and off. So it's a great height and again, a complementary color to the Euphorbia. One thing that we hear all the time here at Rogers is, oh, I want succulents inside. Basically all the ones on the table are not going to perform well inside. If you're looking for a cool indoor succulent, these are some of my favorites. This is a variegated Sansevieria or snake plant. It does great inside, but it can also be outside in the shade. Another one of my favorites is the ponytail palm or Bucharnia. These are slow growing, so you can basically buy it to the size you want it for indoors. Very little water, but it needs bright light inside. I'm going to go over a little bit of basic care for succulents. Most succulents require the same amount of care. Doesn't matter what the variety is. There's a few things to be very successful with growing succulents. We're going to talk about watering, which is one of the most important. You want to let the soil completely dry out before you water again. Succulents don't want to stay consistently moist. That can cause pest problems, root rot problems, diseases, stuff like that. So how much you're going to water depends on the time of year and whether it's in the ground or a container. So during the summer, you're going to want to water more frequently for most varieties. There are a couple of exceptions. We'll talk about those later. And in the winter, you're going to want to water less often because it's not as hot out and it might be raining depending on where you live. There are some varieties that perform better on the coast and some that perform better inland. A couple of the varieties that perform better on the coast are the agave attenuatas. There's a couple different types, some variegated ones, some straight green ones. The aeoniums perform very well on the coast, and also the echeverias. The varieties that perform better inland in hotter climates are agave blue glow, the aloe Cynthia Giddey, Aloe nobilis, the Dudleya brittonii, and also the Euphorbia that we talked about earlier, the Sticks on Fire. Another basic care for succulents is pest management. Generally, succulents are very pest-free, so you don't need to worry too much about it, but do be on the lookout for two common pests, mealybugs and aphids. The best treatment for those that I've found is a basic neem oil application, and you want to apply that either in the morning or in the afternoon when the sun is not on the plant and when there's other friendly pollinators not around. Another thing you'll need to do to care for your succulents is to prune them or groom them. So for example, this Echeveria, you'll want to clean off any of the dead leaves that are underneath. You can do that by simply pulling them and then discarding the dead leaves. This will help prevent any pests from collecting under these dead leaves, and also just as a cleaner, nicer look for your plant. Those are our quick basic care tips for succulents. You follow those and you'll be very successful with growing succulents. So now we're going to talk about some specific varieties, where they work well in the garden, and how to care for them. This is Agave Blue Glow. As I mentioned earlier, it's one of our favorite succulents here. It's very hardy, easy to grow, and just strikingly architectural. It'll get about 2 feet by 2 feet, but it doesn't grow super fast. It does best in full sun, but can take some shade, especially in inland hot areas. These are all agave attenuatas, which is also known as the foxtail agave. It's one of the most common agaves you'll see around Southern California. For a good reason too, they're very easy to grow. They can tolerate part sun, full sun, and there's a couple different varieties that stay a little smaller and have some interesting variegation. So this one is called Agave Kara's Stripes. It's a little bit smaller. It'll get about 3 feet to 4 feet tall and wide. Kara's Stripe has a beautiful green stripe down the edge, which adds interest in the garden. And like I said before, it also stays a little bit more compact and does great in part sun. This is another variegated variety of Agave attenuata called Ray of Light. It's very popular, has a great white stripe on the edge of the leaf here, and also does well in part sun. This is the Agave attenuata, the straight species. This will get 4 feet tall and it kind of clumps to 6 feet or so wide. And it's really beautiful, and it gets its name from its bloom, which kind of spikes like that and then comes up like a foxtail. Another great plant, one of my personal favorites, is the Aloe nobilis. This is a smaller aloe, clumps to about 1 to 2 feet tall and wide. And it's a great plant for inland and for the coast. It can take part sun to full sun and just is a beautiful, tough, hardy plant. This is Aloe Cynthia Giddy. It's a great hybrid aloe, and it produces these beautiful orangey red flower spikes from spring into the fall and clumps to about 2 to 3 feet wide to 2 feet tall. Echeverias are by far one of our favorites here at Rogers and probably across Southern California. They come in a wide variety of colors, sizes, are perfect for containers or in the ground as well. They can be planted very close together to create kind of a wave effect. One of my favorite varieties is the Blue Atoll. This will get about 10 inches wide to 6 inches tall, and it produces a little bit of pups or offsets, and it gets these nice kind of pinky orange flowers in the spring and summer. Another great Echeveria is Pearl von Nurnberg. This one is a little bit smaller. The rosettes get to about 6 inches wide, so it's perfect for succulent arrangements in containers or to pack in tightly around a border. It has a great rosy pink purple hue to it. It's a beautiful succulent. Another stunning Echeveria for the landscape or containers is Echeveria Afterglow. This will get a little bit larger. The rosette will get about 16 inches across at maturity, and it has a great vibrant pink edging to it. Echeveria Sahara is a great succulent for full sun. It's a larger one. It gets about 2 feet wide, and this is a striking, beautiful edge to it, as well as a nice blue-green color. This is my favorite Aeonium, Aeonium Zortkop, just a stunningly dark purple leaf. This will get to 3 to 4 feet tall. One thing about this Aeonium is it goes kind of summer dormant, so you want to back off on the water during the summer, and in the winter, in the early spring, is when it puts on most of its growth. This is an Aeonium Urbicum hybrid, sometimes referred to as the dinner plate Aeonium or salad bowl. It'll get 2 feet tall and wide, around there. Great for part sun, coastal climates, or inland part sun as well. This is Euphorbia Sticks on Fire. This is a great succulent to add height and interest in your garden. It'll get about 6 feet tall to 3 to 4 feet wide at maturity. It's fairly slow growing though, and it also works well in full sun to part sun as well. Thanks for watching. My name is Isaac, and remember to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and our YouTube channel as well. Bye.